Okay guys, welcome back to the second part of the silent mods of the SSG24. Initially I was planning to do this outside like the first video, but today it's, well, kind of rainy, so I had to do inside. And for that reason I'm really sorry if the sound is not the best because of the echo. This is probably my futile attempt to reduce that echo. Let's see. As a new YouTuber, so give me a little bit of break on that. I would appreciate. And let's get down to business. If you haven't already, subscribe the channel and hit the bell for further videos I am planning to release. If you didn't see the first video, you can find that information in the top right corner. As in the first video, I'm gonna start with the spring guide and go all the way out. Okay, so the first thing we have to do, because of the glue of the aluminum tape, is to degrease. So I'm happy with this, and so you can understand. As you see, I hope you see, there's a big wumble between the spring guide and the spring itself. There's a huge clearance, and that will make the twang sound that we don't like. In the base, center line with the tape. Got it just a little bit below the tip. Good. Now keep it as glue as possible without air bubbles, but as you see there are some air bubbles that we're gonna take care, and that's where this movement that many of you laugh about comes in. It really needs to be done, preferably with your fingertips of your nails super smooth, so the spring can operate normally without any additional friction from the spring guide. It's important also here in the tip of the tape, to get really smooth, because we don't want the spring to get stuck there and start to tear apart the tape. So take special attention to the borders of the tape. So this is one layer. Let's try. Still a little bit too, it probably needs one more layer. Now I'm going to put it in the opposite side. A lot better. See, there's the minimum clearance to operate the spring, and that's a lot better. The air brake. Since we don't have any after parts yet of air brake, we're gonna make one. I'm using an M4 25 millimeters. It can be a little bit longer, 30, 35, depends how much longer. So do you wish? I find the 25 good enough. So I'll be pretty much this inside the nozzle. So you find the center. In this case I'm not gonna have to make a cross or anything, because the center is pretty much here. And with a really small diameter, oh, I forgot the name of this in English actually. I'll put it in the text. We will find the center, which is here. Okay, and we will drill a hole. Now, back out, and that's it. That's all you need to do. Small hole. You can do a little bit more from the inside this time. Okay. All right. So, as you see, this is the idea. It's done. Super easy. And now I'm just gonna fill up the screw with Teflon to enlarge a little bit because there's still a little bit of clearance. Okay. So let's put a little bit more of Teflon. The idea here is to enlarge the hair brake, make it more efficient, but also to protect the nozzle in case there is a misalignment, which is not, it's perfectly aligned, but just in case, you know, it's always good to have safeguards. And since I'm coming from the aeronautic and aviation industry, that's where I work. I used to be aircraft maintenance engineer. Safe fails are always important, so that's something that comes with me, and it's perfect. Clearance at the minimum, and it's super good. So I'm just gonna press a little bit to make sure it stays there. And guys, that's pretty much it. The hair brake. It's good. Now the servo pad. It's a little bit too hard for what it should be. That's why we were taking it out. The servo pad, you don't want something that is too hard, neither something that is too soft. It has to be around 65-70 degrees of hardness. Okay, so take it out, put it away, or save it, whatever you want to do. Clean.
6.5 hours later.
That's good enough. So right now I'm going to use this one that from AirPads. You can get it from Skirm Shop, and I have to modify it to this diameter because it's just a little bit too large, as you see. You can also buy this one was sent by Suppressor that I'm going to put it on my own SSG to test it. It's not as hard as the 70 degree. This is a 65 if I recall. I'm going to be testing, and this one comes already perfect to be used in the SSG24 nozzle. I'm going to be using this on mine. I'll give you feedback another time, but for this build I'll be doing I'll be using the one from Scrimshop from AirPads, that is a 70°. Now, because it's a little bit too large, you're gonna have to cut it a little bit. If it's round or close to be round, that should be enough. Doesn't need to be perfect, needs to work. Yeah, and that's good. Now, glue it. Choose a Loctite that doesn't attack the rubber. That's important. Press, and that's it, guys. For the cylinder, inside the cylinder mods, these are the 3 mods that you can do. Okay, the can mode with the aluminum tape, the air brake, don't forget to put it with Teflon, and a new sorbo pad, a little bit softer than the one that comes originally. So that's good, perfect, and the cylinder mods are done. Now let's go for the receiver modifications. To be easier, I'll take the trigger mechanism. We'll be using this foam tube, and we will apply it in the bottom and on the top. We will first do a cut. So let's say that probably this is enough. Yeah, this is enough. Good. You're gonna have to clean for any grease. I hope you guys enjoying so far. This is like first step-by-step that I'm doing. So give me a break if you don't like it. If you do, thank you for your support. Consider subscribe and activate the notification bell. That would really help the channel and these new projects that I am doing and thinking for the future. Okay, one side. I think maybe this one is a little bit too. This is small adjustments that you can do, of course, like I'm doing. Every gun is different, every material that we use is different, so always consider small adjustments to be done. Well, the bottom part of the receiver mod is done. Let's put this back. Okay, and now we will proceed to the top part. It's easier for this part if we actually take the Picatinny rail out. Once again, clean it properly so the glue stays. And as I said in the first video, these two modifications here makes a lot of difference in the noise, that's the impact of the piston. It's wonderful. Now, of course, it's my opinion at least that you don't want to have this gray area here, and that's the reason, only for a purpose of aesthetics, I covered. You can paint it, I just cover it with a little bit more electric tape. So, looks better. Now we can install. Freely, it's free to move. You can even feel the vibration. Okay, with everything done here, we will start working on the up-up. Now, this is a performance change. As you can see here, my changes are what I call a up-up kit from Suppressor, and this thing works perfectly with my FPS limits. So another change that I'm going to do here is the click system. I'm gonna just take it out.
This next phase, I decided not to show you what I've done because Suppressor himself did a pretty good job, better than I'm doing so far, showing how to install the ROP and do the smooth up-up modification. I strongly advise you to check it out. I will leave the link in the description. And if you want to order this kit, the ROP kit, I will leave the link for his contact through Facebook, so you can order directly with him.
Okay, now we're gonna do another mod. So this will probably stay in the middle, and for that reason we want to give some extra space here. So I'm gonna cut this here. A little bit here. Now, in this case, this foam won't fit here. It's gonna be a little bit complicated. It gets to a point that it doesn't go. So what I'm gonna do is use the heat gun, shrink it a little bit. So stability, not so much, but sound improvement, that will definitely make a difference. All right, so now it's shrinked, fits perfectly. And that is good. As you see, soundproof will be improved, and this you can wobble it around and it won't leave the proper place. Once the first time it's installed, it stays there forever. So that's easier. Now this part goes in. Barrel mods are done. Now the stock. First thing we're gonna do is open everything here. Okay. So inside the stock, we're gonna fill it up with the foam. Gonna use a few more. To all around the stock. Okay, good. So this is important because, well, although this won't make sound, but amplifies the sound of the mechanism inside the receiver. And with this, we stop exactly that from happening. So I'm gonna put this over here and let's talk about the suppressor. Alright, so the suppressor, as you all know, comes with this foam system, which is good compared with everything else that's on the market. And the reason I say which is good compared with that is because you have two different diameters, which make kind of chambers. And I like that system, I like that. But it can be further improved and you can easily do it. If you don't have access to cut Scotch-Brite like I did, let me take this out. You can still use the same foam that comes in the Novich suppressor. And if you remember the EVA board that I was talking about, okay, this is the same thing that you do. Outer diameter the same as inner diameter of the barrel. And this, if I'm not mistaken, this is 9mm diameter. So here what I do is putting 2 and put one EVA disc in the middle of every 2 Scotch-Brite discs, all the way until I fill the suppressor. Good. The next 2. Something you need to be careful in every single way you choose to do a suppressor is that inner diameter has enough space for the VB to pass, and there's no fibers of Scotch-Brite, for instance, like in the middle, because that will affect the VB no matter how good the silencer is or what material you have in there. You need to do it. You need to be careful with that. And that's it. Now, because this is probably not a line, take your stick and pretty much roll it to put everything in place, and that way the BB can pass with no problems. And yeah, it's done.
And I want to apologize for the time it took me to release this second part, but due to work and studies, because in aviation we're always studying something to keep up with the new technologies and safety reasons, I didn't have the time to edit this video before. And then the Christmas and New Year high season came in, and that pushed further back my availability to edit this video. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I will release a new video. I'm planning to do a third part showing the before and after with the decibel meter, so you can for sure know how silenced the weapon became. Not just by sound, because we all know that the microphone changes the sound levels, but with a proper decibel meter in front you can see the values. Hope to see you in the next one, and soon.